Hey Terrell, hey Raz. Just hot. Hot as hell. I don't know. Well, it's been cool all week, but today it got hot. I gotta keep the AC on because it's one of those days where the studio is becoming a crazy hot box. So hey, what's up, Jacob? That's good, Raz. You know what I need to do? Next year I need to come up with an idea on how to cool my garage. I'm thinking of maybe just get a wall unit and put a wall unit in the garage. Not that I'll use it all day long, just like those days I'm in the garage and I need to cool it out. I gotta come up with something. I was even thinking just a portable AC unit because I would never, you know, I try to schedule stuff in the garage just for like a few hours and not be in there all day. I gotta come up with an idea. You had to repaint it because you didn't like it, or it was just that it was a different figure and you're just painting it for him? Ah, I hear you. I hear you. Alright, so I actually did have time to get in the garage this week. Yeah, I sort of went through that this week too, Raz. I painted the Colossus, and then I had to add a little bit something different for the client, so at least they're done. But yeah, it sucks when you paint something and then they want to change. I try and hash everything out in the beginning. C4 Studios. I think I know the road you're talking about, which looks good. Do I have an item from them? Let me look at the box in the kitchen. No, I thought it was C4 Studios. It was CP Studios. No, I don't know how well they are with their items, Jacob. I don't know anybody that. A lot of the guys I know in the hobby, the stuff they pick up are not like that type of stuff. So I'm not really sure. Alright, trying to get my act together. Alright, so what I did with Lola Bunny is I went ahead and I dremelled out her chest here, so this way when I put eaves on top of here, it'll look like it's kind of squeezing it at the bottom. So that's later though. Right now we're going to work on the booty, so I did the same thing down here with my lines and everything. I chiseled it out. So it's easier to put eaves here and sort of start creating the lines than to try to sculpt over the item and then dig into it. So it's better to kind of do it this way. You'll see. I drummed out a little bit here to add wrinkles, and I did a little bit here for this part on her foot. So I figure we get the shorts done, and then I can start cleaning up the upper body and go from there. So I rolled out some eaves about a half hour ago. So you figure we'll start layering it on, go from there. I'm not doing super tight. The goal is to make it tight in here a little bit and make it tight here, but it gets loose up around here. You'll see it. I got an idea in my head. We're gonna It's better to, like I said, I'm starting to learn now when I sculpt, it's better to chop up an area and sculpt over it so you can work out the lines easier than trying to sculpt over the flat areas that's smooth. So I'm starting to learn how to work my A's and also the polystone to make life easier. It's just something I've been kind of coming up with lately, and I got a couple personal projects I've been doing it. So as I put it on, you can see it's sort of getting tight in the booty area there, but it'll be loose up here. And then also, what it does is it gives me an area to sort of sand down and make it even. So it's just something I've been just working on a lot more lately to try to get better with the customs and also the polystone. So, and then what we do is we kind of come up this way. Resin with Portland cement? Never heard of Portland cement, so I have no clue on that, Terrell. No, I never messed with it. I know a couple people have used cement on statue building, but I've never used cement. So I do know with cement though, there is a, if you use like not regular like concrete cement with the rocks in it, but if you use like that smoother cement, there is a chemical you can mix with it that's not resin, but it's kind of a, God, I forget what it looks like. It looks like a white milky stuff like Vallejo varnish, but when you mix that with cement, it actually makes it a little bit more softer, I think they call it, and it smooths out easier. I used to do construction after art school for a bit, and a guy who did that would mix that stuff in with his resin for doing floors. Not resin, I'm sorry, cement. Now, why are you trying to mix cement with resin? Is this something, never really heard of anything like that before.
I think so.
No, it's not cement. To get polystone, you mix stone powder. You know, just think of like, you know, regular stones that are outside on like, you know, like white stones. It's just grounded up stone powder mixed with resin, and that's how you get polystone. That's all polystone is. It's basically the same resin that you would get at like, you know, Smooth On, except it's just got stone powder in it. I think Smooth On actually sells stone powder you can mix with resin. So you could buy their like Smooth Cast 300, 305 or 310, and you can buy their stone powder. You got to mix it in a specific ratio, mix it together, and then you can pour it into a item, and you can get more of a polystone than a resin statue. Actually, Jacob, send me the email to the Rogue. Is it the? I'm trying to think. I think it's the one I just saw on We Are Collectors. I think it was posted today or yesterday. Is that the one you're talking about? Because that one actually looks nice. If it's the one I'm thinking of. I don't think you can use polystone on a 3D. Oh, I mean, poured resin in a 3D print. Polystone would probably be the same way, but it would just make it a little bit heavier, not much. Just one, Jacob. Just send me an email with one. I just kind of, I'm thinking I know which one you're talking about, but I'm not sure. Like I said, if it's the one I'm thinking of that was on We Are Collectors, I could post it in chat. Hey, what's up, Scott? I mean, there's always nice sculpts coming out, and I would love to get them, but I just can't get everything, you know? So it kind of sucks. What the hell? Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yep, that one looks really good. Like, I think if I was to ever really get a rogue statue, this would be the one. But that's a nice rogue. That one I really do like, because you know what it is? She's got that comic book feel to her, of the body. It's got that 90s like style to her almost. It's not like it looks like a Jim Lee drawing. It looks like a 90s rogue you would see in one of those. It's got a hell of a booty too. Not bad. I liked it because it wasn't Jim Lee, like, looked like Jim Lee drawing. Hey, what's up, Brenton? I mean, I'm a little bit over the whole Jim Lee stuff and the Venomized character, so that's all you ever really see now. Hey, what's up, Raccoon? Yeah, the Venomized stuff is getting ridiculous. It's like every character now, it's even in the comics, I get those emails, and everybody is Venomized, so... Is that fully painted too, Jacob? Yeah, see, I like that rogue, but it would have to be a character I absolutely can't live without to spend that kind of money on a custom now. Or a fan art, I guess you could call it. I'm actually, next week, I'm getting the Black Queen in the mail from CBS Labs. I ordered a kit like a year ago, but I'm using it for a personal custom. So... Yeah, I love that Black Queen when I saw it, but I don't want it for Black Queen. I'm gonna customize it into a Sage from Extreme X-Men for myself. But you know, I jumped on it like a year ago, so just finally coming in now. Yeah, I think I'm with Terrell on that. I'm around that 800 range myself, because I'm getting the Bayonetta from Hummingbird Studios, and I think that's around the 700 mark, and I think that's like where I'm at right now. But if I didn't do what I'm doing now for like my own personal stuff, I would do more commissions with people. You know, get my holy grails done. That's just me. I like, as you saw in my video I posted this past weekend of my collection, I just go for grails, characters I love, and that's it. I think it's shipping that kind of scares me away from some of the items, because it's you're not going to get it for like a year, and by the time it's ready to come, you don't know what shipping prices are going to be. So that's why when people contact me to do repairs, I always tell them factor in the repair, the shipping, the payment, you know, versus how much is it just to buy it, like buy another one on eBay. I mean, if it's a rare item and, you know, it's worth like $1,000 and you can't get it cheap, but if it's like an item that you get for another 400 bucks, you might as well just, you know, buy another one. But yeah, shipping's a little bit scary on stuff, because I know a couple of my friends bought some statues like a year or two ago or 3 years ago, and they're finally coming in, and the shipping is like absolutely crazy. So Oh, my Captain Marvels? Yeah, I put a lot of effort into those. Those are grails. Jacob, you mean like take a file that they already sculpted and edit it? I'm sure they could, but then you got to pay the sculptor to do all that again, you know? You can always contact the guys who produce it, but I guess the other problem is like how much the sculptor is going to charge. You know, is everybody interested in it? Some of these sculptors will kind of nickel and dime people, I've heard. So, but I mean, you got to pay for their time, of course. Shorts before I do anything. So she's got yeah, I've heard some stories where it's either producers don't want to do the change, or it's the sculptor won't do the change. I've heard actually some sculptors will only, like, they'll take on, like, say they're going to do this Lola bunny, they're going to sculpt it the way they want, and that's it, they're done. They won't listen to any changes you want, they won't listen to any tweaks, they're just going to do it and be done with it. I've heard other sculptors will do exactly what you want, you know, like, okay, you want this change, you want that change, blah, blah, blah. There was that Magneto back in the day, the one Magneto where he was supposed to be, he's got his hands out. I forget the name of the group. I got in on it. It was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. He was supposed to be like tearing through a concentration camp. There were supposed to be, you know, flags from the Yazis and stuff and everything. But supposedly the sculptor did not want to do it, and he changed it up on the producers, which to me is kind of bad. Like, if you're paying someone to do it, you want them to do it your way. So I've heard sculptors do that, so I'm not really sure, you know. Hey, what's up, Hulk? Yeah, the ModuCases came out great. I'm so happy I did them. I was a little bit like worried when I got them in if I was gonna really like them with all the money I spent, but after I put them together and I put in the statues, I was like, I'm so glad I did this. Nerdy Ranger, I'm still working on her. I've been, I'm not sure if you know, I got backlogged because my mother ended up in the hospital last year and then again this year, so I was doing only some commissions and I didn't have time to do side projects, but things are getting a little bit better, so I just finished up 2 Colossus kits I gotta take pictures of. And then I'm going to start doing some custom work with some other kits, so I'm going to try to get back on that Mary Jane. Real life just kind of got in the way, so hopefully get back on track. Yeah, the goal is if I could have some free weekends again, you know, where I kind of do my own personal stuff and then I do side projects. I'll start getting back onto that project. I really want to get it done. It just hasn't been going the way you want things to go, you know? Hey, what's up, Iceman? I'm hanging in there. Took a break from the heat today after woke up early about 12 o'clock. It started getting too hot in the garage, so I said screw it, I'm done for the day in the garage. But other than that, just plugging away on stuff. I got that Supergirl kit in the mail my friend printed out for me that you fixed. So I'm going to do a video on how to fill up the resin on that one. I left it in the sun yesterday for an extra hour and a half just to make sure it was cured. It's not the Superman you're thinking of, Jacob. You know what? I'll grab it for you and show it. It's a personal item that I saw on CG Trader, and I just wanted to use it for sort of a side project. For like a filler too. So I saw this 3D model on CG Trader, but it was for only smaller kits. It was only supposed to be printed, I think, like this small. So Iceman was kind enough to sort of tweak the file so I could print larger. It's kind of more of like a animated cartoon version of Linda Danvers. So I just wanted it's just a little bit of a fun thing to do. So she kind of goes like that. You probably have seen it. If you go on CG Trader, you can see what it looks like. So, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to print it this big without him tweaking it. So, but I'm gonna do a video on like how to fill this up, so people could get an idea on how it works. Should probably leave it in here and get out of the garage and make them out. Yeah, it's on CG Trader. I just didn't know it was that small. No, it worked out good, Iceman. I appreciate the help on it. Like I said, it's nothing super serious. It's just kind of a side thing to kind of mess with. It's actually going to be a while before I get it painted, but I figured it'd be a good filler item for the side. Whenever I have extra A's, I can work on a cloud base for it, stuff like that. Zake? Sadly, no, I've never done a punchline one. I've never been asked for a punchline, and I never really thought about making one of her. Cause I guess I'm just overloaded as it is. But I'm surprised more companies don't make her. I like the Prime 1 punchline, that was pretty good. Yeah, what is it? Punchline's Joker's new girlfriend, because Harley Quinn is now dating Poison Ivy, and now Joker and Harley Quinn broke up. I swear to God, I think like DC Comics is all about who's dating who now and who's sleeping with who, rather than heroes versus villains. Well, the whole thing between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, it's like, okay, I get it, but every single comic book cover I get from emails from those sites, it's just those two kissing. So I think it's kind of over-forced now. It's like, okay, they're a couple, or they're together, but does every issue have to have them kissing on the cover? But that's the emails I get, so I don't know what the story is or what's going on. It's just that I'm kind of like, okay, another picture of them kissing, whatever. Alright, so we're going to sort of do the same thing on the front. I think what I'll do is I'll kind of lift these areas when it gets a little bit tougher. Kind of stick up a little bit. Yeah, I saw the Flash movie, and I actually, I didn't really care for Flash, but I actually loved the whole Christopher Reeves and Supergirl scene. I loved it. I like watch it like every day now, because I have the file, and I just keep watching it over and over. Honestly, I could just do with a movie where they just show multiple, you know, multiverse people with CGI, and I'd be happy. Too soft. I gotta let that harden up a bit. Yeah, the multiverse was great. The first Superman with Jake Garrick was awesome, and then you saw Christopher Reeves with Supergirl. You know what it was, is to see Christopher Reeves with the I forget that her name, forget what her name was, the Supergirl, together, even though it was CGI, was amazing, because I always wanted to see them together in a movie. That was just the kid in me. I always kept saying like, "Oh, it'd be awesome if you could get Superman, you know, and Supergirl in the movie," but that sadly never happened. But just to see them, even though the CGI was crap, it was awesome. Helene Slate, okay, that's her name. But that was awesome. You know, and it was so cool too to see Christopher Reeves so tall next to her, so she actually felt like a teenager, which was awesome. I just loved it. That honestly, like, that made the movie for me. The whole Flash being like a little whiny bitch, and you know, that I could care less about that. And the the Keaton fight scenes was probably the best Batman fight scenes in any Batman movie ever. The way they had him fight was the way Batman should have fought in every movie. Just him flipping around, throwing the batarang, hitting the wall, coming back, hitting the guy. That was amazing. Like, that was... So if you... Keaton fight scenes were amazing. He was just an amazing Batman. The Supergirl, the actress who played that Supergirl, was not bad. I wouldn't say she was amazing, but she wasn't bad. And then the whole multiverse stuff was amazing. Yeah, that's true, Iceman. But I think James Gunn did a good job on saving it, whatever he did to it, because it leaves the possibility now of future DC stuff, and people will understand that everything is like an Earth. So I think he did as good as he could with it. That's my theory. I know everybody likes to shit on it right away, but I think he did a good job salvaging it. Yeah, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not, I know everybody's crapping on the graphics, but I really didn't care, you know? I really did not care about the whole graphic stuff. I just enjoyed Christopher Reeves, I liked Keaton, and I thought they did a good job with that. And if you think of it, it was an uphill battle anyway for James Gunn, because he went in with dealing with that actor, the Flash actor, and also dealing with whatever the hell, whatchamacallit, what the hell is the company? AT&T did to DC. So... There's only so much they can do, you know? Yeah, I'm not really sure who the hell picked him, but it wasn't. See, I'm such a Flash fan, and that was not Barry Allen. That was more of an old school, like Wally West. That's not Barry. Barry is more of a father figure, you know. So it was a bad choice for Barry Allen. And the way the kid acted, his variant acted in the Flash movie, so impulsive, that was more impulse. You know, Bart Allen. So, once again, AT&T had no clue what the hell they had on their, for their characters. I blame AT&T for ruining DC. Yeah, I never was really a fan of the guy from WB, but he definitely would have been better than what we got. But it's over and done with now, so we'll see what James Gunn does in the future. I got faith. Give him time, see what he could pull off. I forgot about the whole Nicolas Cage thing. I remember that they were supposed to have him for Superman. I forgot all about it until I saw the movie. I was like, oh, that's right. They were supposed to have him as Superman. And I was like, ah, it's kind of a nice touch. But it's Tim Burton, and I'm not really a fan of Tim Burton movies, so I know that's probably blasphemy to some of you guys, but I really didn't care for the Tim Burton Batman stuff. It was too corny for me. But when we saw Michael Keaton in play in this Flash movie, that's the Batman I liked. So that was amazing. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Kevin Smith was part of it, and there was a bunch of creative differences. And I'm pretty sure it's a good thing it never came to light, because Kevin Smith, I don't like anything he does. So that's probably why that fell apart. I really didn't have a favorite Batman, but the way Keaton was in this Flash movie, he became my favorite Batman in that movie. But the whole the Tim Burton Batman stuff, even when I was a kid and I saw it, I was like, ah, it's too much like the old Batman Adam West stuff, and I was like, ah, I don't care for it. Nah, I'm not a fan of that whole like colored background stuff and just the cheat. I want to see Batman kick ass like in the Flash movie. That was awesome. That's the type of stuff I want to see. But you know, they always gotta can't offend people or be too violent or whatever the hell they're whatever problem they got that week. Yeah, Jacob, I was not really a fan of Batman. You know what it was? I was never really a fan of Batman anyway. I was more of an X-Men fan at the time too. You know? But I just don't like Tim Burton stuff. I just don't like that colored, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of his stuff. Just the way I am like that. Hey, don't get me wrong, I went to a birthday party and I saw Batman for the first time. It was cool, but... It's alright. I just hope that James Gunn does the JSA and shows them in the new movies. I want to see some more characters than the same damn big three over and over. But he's starting to slowly show the castings of all the JSA characters. And he's keeping true to what they look like, so that should be fun. No more of this race swapping and all this other crap. Just make them who they look like in the comics. I'll be happy. They even got the actor to play Mr. Terrific, which is going to be awesome. I like him in the JSA team. He's got some awesome powers too. So that should be pretty cool. Yeah, I want to see Spectre, Jake Garrick, you know, I want to see all those guys. I think that would look so cool to see them on the big screen. I mean, you could even throw Stargirl in there too. Yeah, I think guys like Neurotic and some of these other guys are not giving it a chance. You know, they're so jaded by Marvel and AT&T. They're not like, you know, he's got to start from scratch. He's got a lot of work to do. So you got to give him like something. So we'll see. I mean, it could be bad or it could be amazing. We don't know yet. Yeah, I never watched the Stargirl show because that was under WB, and I hated everything they were doing. So we'll see. We shall see. By the time the DC movies come out, it's going to be all video game stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like a lot of the fake comic book fans will move on to the video game stuff, so maybe the DC stuff will go like under the radar, and it won't be as like so like I guess analyzed, I guess you could say. I just think Star Wars and Marvel just jaded a lot of people now, and they're not giving anything a chance anymore. They're making a video game of Suicide Squad. All I know is the TV show Suicide Squad was, no, was it Suicide Squad or was it the? It was the guy with the gun and the helmet. What's his name? All I know is that was awesome. Yeah, the guy with John Cena. God, I forgot the damn name of it. That was funny as hell. So if they could keep that kind of quality of stuff going, that would be awesome. Peacemaker, that's it. Yep. What do you want to know, Jacob? It was kind of a little bit of a slow process, but not super slow, but not super fast. I contacted them and I got a hold of Jack, who's the owner, and that's who was talking to me when I first sent the email. So I pretty much said what I was looking for. I took pictures and I sort of I made it easier. I took a picture of my room and I photoshopped the blocks that I wanted to order from them. And I showed them what I said would fit in my room, and this is kind of what I wanted to build. And what Jack did is he did a computer render of what the ModuCases would look like, and that's when he offered me the corner ones. And then from there I took that picture and I sort of like photoshopped it into my corners to see what it would look like. So it was fairly straightforward. Of like, I just wanted specific blocks that would fit. But I didn't go crazy with like a customized one where they had to cut it like pre-built for me and like fit it into a room. So that's kind of how I went about it. But it didn't happen overnight. I think I went back and forth with him for like a month or so till I figured exactly what we wanted, and then he sent me a bill and I paid half of it up front. Hey, what's up, Hangerbird? So yeah, it didn't go fast, but it didn't go slow. They were good on, you know. And once I was ready to pay, he put me on to the other people to pay, and they sent me bills and stuff. No, Jacob. I mean, I told him who I was and I would do a video on it and everything, but I had to pay half up front, and then when it was ready to ship, I paid the other half. From what I understand, I think that's normal, unless you had to pay up front. I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth. But like I said, I got to him a while back. I might have also contacted them when they were really slow. Because they were really getting back to me. You know, I don't know. I really don't know. It's just that when I had to pay, though, I had to deal with the lady, I think. So I was going back and forth with paying and stuff. They sent me a bill and all that through PayPal. My delivery was in it was well-packed boxes. They were taped. They had corners on the boxes of the, you know, they had like corners. They also had like plastic corners inside that held all the wood frames and stuff. It came through UPS. They told me that when it comes off the boat and it makes it to California, then they ship it from there, UPS. If there was any damages, they would replace it, but I didn't have any damages. I mean, one board had a little scuff on the white side of the board, but that was behind the case anyway, so it didn't matter. I didn't care about the white scuff on the board. There was, yeah, I really didn't have any issues. I didn't have any breaks with the plexiglass. I didn't have any missing. They give you more tools than you need. There's so many screws in there, so they give you more than you need. I think one piece I built, the one screw to put a screw in there didn't work. It wasn't like tapped, so I just got a drill and I kind of drilled in a little bit of a bigger one and I re-tapped it with a screw and it was fine. But they told me that if there's any issues, they'll replace it or they'll send me a replacement with no problem. So, but I didn't have any issues. I think the only issue I had was building them. It just took a long time. Actually, I don't remember shipping. I just remember they gave me a price and I was like, all right, I'll pay. I was like, what am I gonna do? Fight it? But I did, when I did get the shells, I did contact them and I said, hey, I got everything, everything's great, I'm building, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, I would like to order 3 extra LED bars, because I have bad luck with stuff blowing out at me, and I figured that if I didn't have a backup that I could put in the closet in case one of those LEDs go bad, it would be a nightmare to try to find something to match them. So I contacted the lady and I said, hey, I'd like to order 3 more bars and stuff, and then they got them and they shipped them to me. So but if shipping was bad, I don't really remember because I figured I was gonna pay anyway. Like I said, I contacted a carpenter and I gave them dimensions what I was looking for, and the carpenter quoted me like $6,500, and you know, I was just like, yeah, I'm not, and that's like without like glass doors or something. So yeah, you could spend about that, Jacob. It all depends on you know, they do offer I think Black Friday sales, and Black Friday's coming up, so I think they do have like a percentage off with Black Friday, and that could be a good time to order too, which might give you like a good shipping discount, I guess. Of course, you gotta wait a year though, but from what I understand, they have Black Friday sales. And then don't forget, you can order from Sideshow, and you can get points, I guess, from Sideshow too. So yeah, Sideshow has ModuCases. Like I said in my video, I got a friend that I'm going to do custom work for. He's got 3 blocks, so I need a 4th block. And I got like a couple points on Sideshow. I'm going to order from Sideshow, and I'm going to get that 4th block from there. Of course, it'll take like a year or so to get it, but I think from what I understand, the ModuCases, they got better factories, so I'm thinking they're getting them out a little bit faster. So like I said, it was the best decision I ever made. I can enjoy my collection now. It's dust free. I don't have to worry about, you know, dust in my statues. I get to display more now. It's cleaner. So, for me, it was a good choice. Well, here's the thing. If you want to get a custom build-up that's custom sizes, you got to deal with ModuCase, and you got to measure your room. And what they can do is they can build cases for that specific room. Now, ModuCase is meant for that. If you buy this block and you buy that block and you buy this block, you connect them together yourself. So, like me with my setup, I didn't order a specific size where they take like a year to cut them for me. I ordered just the blocks that they sell on the site, and I combined them all together. So my blocks are not custom; they're just ModuCases, and they're just the same stuff you could get on Sideshow, and you just put them all together. That's what it is. So, I mean, if you want to do a custom build in a room with a specific wall and size that goes over a TV, you're going to have to talk to ModuCase. They're going to have to measure it out. They're going to have to plan it, cut it. And it's going to take a lot, and you get an upcharge too. But if you're just going to buy blocks and you're going to put all those blocks together in your room, no, I gave them the size of my room, but we got blocks that would fit in that room. So my room can only hold the DF series. If I wanted the series that are above the DF, which is like, what are they, like the Extreme or something, my house is not big enough to put those blocks in my house. So I just got the DF series, but we got the DF series that connect together. So the corner case is a DF series. The two long pieces next to the corner piece that has the adjustable shelf, that's the DF 130 or 160. And then the block that's on top of it is the DF30. So that's what ModuCase is. You buy blocks and you put them where you want them. Yeah, if I wanted to build a specific custom cases for them, I probably would have been around like the 9K, 10K range or something, which I was not spending that kind of money. But if you see guys on like Instagram, or you see them on their site and they have like a custom build up over a desk, that's not necessarily prefab like measurements that they did for you. That might just be a DF series that actually people screwed together and put over a desk, you know? Yeah, the 6th series are for like Hot Toys and like, you know, the smaller stuff. The DF series, or which I have in my house, so that fits a lot of the 1/4 scale Sideshow stuff. And then the next series up, which I think I think it's called the Extreme, or the, if you go on ModuCase site, it's there. That stuff is more for like, you know, XM huge statues. I wanted the Extreme stuff, but my house is way too small. So, yeah, if you go to ModuCase, Max Plus series, that's what it's called. It's called Max Plus. So, the big piece that's in front of my TV that has the Power Girls, that's a Max Plus. So that holds stuff up to like 30 inches high. The DF series are like the ones that are the next size. So. Hey, what's up, Raphael? Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really happy with the ModuCase. Yeah, so like say you have all right, for instance, I gotta make sure we got let me grab a piece of paper. So for instance, like for anyone that's watching, you know, so say you have a room. So say you have like just imagine you have one big wall right here, right? And you want to put cases all along here. So say you have a so we'll kind of look at the top. So this is kind of a corner case, right? So say this is a whole room, right? And you say your DF series will fit the whole room. You can actually get a corner case, right? You can get a corner case right here, right? And then you can actually put like DF 60 blocks if they fit. So you can have like, so say like your whole room, you could put a corner here, you could put a corner here, and you could just put a whole bunch of DF 60s across, or Max, the Max series. And then basically, you know, you can just kind of have a whole series of blocks like this in the one side of the room, if it fits. Now, you may have a little bit of a space here for this wall and a little bit of that space, but you can still do it, you know what I'm saying? And then if, and then like say if you, you know, you have a really high like a high ceiling, you can actually put like an extra, you could put like 5 corner pieces and 5 stacks DS60s up here, and then you can actually like block this area out, right? And you can have a computer desk here with a chair, and you can have all your stuff around. So you just have to measure it out, you know what I'm saying? And they're all interchangeable, so you can have, you know, you can have 2 big cases, you can have 2 little blocks, so you just got to measure out what you got. Yeah, you can do that. Some people actually, if you look at the ModuCase site, they put statues all like ModuCases around, and then they actually mount up a TV up here, and they have their TV up here, and then they have all the statues around underneath of it, you know? So you could even do that too. And they put it up on their ceiling and stuff. So yeah, like if you just gotta measure, that's all you gotta do. So you think of it this way, my ceiling is, in my TV room is not 9 feet, right? So I can't put a Max series. I can't put 3 blocks of the Max series on top of each other because that goes above 9 feet. So I wouldn't be able to put those in my TV room. That's why I got the DF series. Hopefully that kind of clears it up a bit. No, so the way it works is, if you get a ModuCase and you order lights, they'll actually tell you, well, they told me how many lights I needed. So for every block, you get 1 light. So I wanted the strip bar, the light strip bars. I didn't want those spotlights. So for every block I got a strip of bar for it. So when I got the corner cases, it came with I think 2 bars, light bars for it, or 3. I forgot exactly how many, but I ordered extra light bars. But the way it works is for every block you get, they suggested me give 1 light bar, and then it's a typical. You have to daisy chain the bar with light pieces, you know, like cords, and you plug that into the back with your surge protector and your AC adapters. The only problem is though is you can't daisy chain like 20 lights on one line. You have to daisy chain at least like 3 or 4 on one AC adapter. So that's what I found out. You can't daisy chain like the whole entire thing. But I like the light bars more than the spotlights. But other people said they like the spotlights better. No, you don't get the spotlights or you don't get the LEDs like together. It's whichever one you want. That's the way I ordered it. Because if you get both, you can get both, but you got to pay for it though. It's not like the lights come with the case. You got to order that separate. Now, if you feel you don't want to use ModuCase's LEDs, you can buy LEDs off of Amazon cheaper if you want. But the reason why I got the ModuCases is because they're measured to the ModuCase DF60, and they had it was the whole entire size of the case. That's why I got it. I wanted to be simple. I didn't want to try to like order something from Amazon, it doesn't work, or it doesn't light properly, or it sticks out like a sore thumb. So that's what I did with that. Yeah, I could see why you did it, Iceman. It would have been sort of cheaper, but I just wanted to have something nice for once. I wanted to treat myself. You know, a lot of people with midlife crises or stuff, they'll get a car or something. I wanted to have a display room. Yeah, I would wait until you get your house done, and then you can sit there and start measuring it out. And then also what you could do is start putting aside some cash for it too. You know, so this way when you're ready, maybe by the time you're ready to order, they'll have a better warehouse and they're pumping them out faster too. You never know, because I know they said they were working on getting better factories, so. Well, if they open up the hub, that would actually help them out because they can actually start stocking up that hub, and then when people order, they can just kind of pump them out. So I mean, that's better than sitting there waiting for them to come from Singapore or China all the way to California and then ship. At least they can start just building them and have them sit there, you know? If I were you, Jacob, what I would do is I would, as they're doing construction, I would get in there and start at least trying to get a basic idea what the room is going to look like. And then you can start playing with the cases you might want to buy. And you can start sort of like mocking up stuff which might work. So by the time your place is done, you might actually have a better idea what to order, and you can order it right away. Can't hurt. Well, that's what I'm saying. You can start, you know, as they're working on the house, you can start sort of getting an idea where you might put stuff, and then it gives you a better idea. I don't know. It all depends on how you want to work it. I mean, if you want it right away when you get in the house, you can plan it out. But if you want to just kind of wait till you're in there, you can do that too. Well, see, if you're a true collector, you would build the ModuCases and then put furniture around those. I mean, who needs furniture? You need room for statues, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you saw my room. I don't really care about the TV or furniture. I mean, the couch is nothing special. I just bought that couch because it fits in that spot, and that was it. You know. I would like to have a bigger couch like I used to have, where you can, you know, it was huge, but I figured the cases were more important, so I just went and got that one because it was smaller. Yeah, I hear you on that, Jacob. I like the Besta cases because they had the glass doors, but the problem was they were so dark inside, and it was very easy for people to open them up too. The ModuCases, once you put that screw on there and it magnetized, you really can't just pop off the doors, so it would definitely stop people from, you know, touching them. Yeah, but my thing is, I want stuff enclosed. I don't want to be able. I don't want to sit there and have to dust stuff. That's my. That's the one thing why I did this too, because I don't want to dust any of that crap. So to make sure I don't snap any of this. Yeah, I mean the ModuCases, when you, I didn't do it in the video. When you put them together and you use those two screw pieces, if you don't like use a pair of clamps, what I did was I clamped them with something like this, and I got the pieces of metal to touch, and then I screwed those two pieces to lock it in, and then you don't get a gap. But if you're not careful, you can sort of get a little bit of a gap, but it still works. Well, even though I live by water, I have those Fujitsu units, so when I turn on the AC, it's actually a dehumidifier, so I'm not worried about humidity. Like, even though it's humid outside, I don't have, like, moisture in the house. And in the winter time, I have baseboard heat, so I really don't have an issue. So if I haven't had an issue with my Besta cases all these years, I don't think I'll have an issue with these, you know? I think the hardest part of these, though, is just keeping the plexiglass dust free. But it's plexiglass, so it's going to kind of attract dust. Somebody sent me a link on the get like plexiglass cleaner, because you can't use a Windex. So I have to look into that plexiglass cleaner to sort of figure out how to kind of clean that stuff up. The only issue I had, but it wasn't the ModuCases, it was that Bayonetta from ACY Studio I put in the case. The fumes of that paint were so strong when I closed the door and I opened up, all the fumes came into my face. So I've had the plexiglass door open for about a week now to kind of air out the statue. It's gotten better, so. No, once I put those 4 blocks that I showed in the video where I get rid of those Bestas by the couch and I put 4 blocks there, I think I'm done with the ModuCases. My kitchen, next year I want to get all those boxes out of my kitchen and over here into the studio once I get a couple of these boxes out of here. And I want to do one of those like waterfall or those water, you know, with those pieces of wood with epoxy. So I want to build like a kitchen table in there. I haven't had a kitchen table in my kitchen for like 4 years now. Well, actually 5 years. I would like to actually get a kitchen table back in there. And then after that, I'm not really doing any more cases because you saw how much room I have in those cases now. I'm never going to fill all that stuff up. So, and that's the goal, is I don't want to overbuy, because where am I going to put all the boxes? My house is small. So actually, I think I'm going to throw away some boxes too, now that the more I thought about it. Because I got some customs I'm never going to get rid of. So. No, that was my mistake. So when you have a box next to a box, you're not really supposed to put the plexiglass there, so you can actually have stuff kind of stick out to the next part. I didn't know that because I built those DF160s or the 130s before I got my corner cases in. So I had to go back and pop those plexiglasses out. But yeah, the idea is if you put case next to case next to case, you don't need those plexiglasses in between them, so you can have it all opened up inside. But they send you plexiglasses for both sides in case you're going to have it separated, or you're going to have one at the end and one at the other end. So I have about 4 pieces of plexiglass that's in my laundry room right now between it's in the closet in the laundry room. So yeah, so say if you put like, you know, say you put 8 boxes next to each other, there's going to be a lot of extra plexiglass that you don't need to put between each other. So you just got to make sure when you build, you have the one over here with the plexiglass and one over here, but all the ones in the middle are not. And the downside though is when you, like I showed you with the corner case, you can't put stuff on top of the case if it's not touching your ceiling, so you want to put stuff up there. You either have to buy one of their blocks of wood that you could put on top as a finishing piece, or you make your own. So. If you're gonna put a background in there, you'd have to do measurements and plan it out. It's doable, but I don't know. I don't know how to, you know, it's not something you could just do on a whim. I think you need to really set it up. I mean, there's a lot of options you could do with these ModuCases, you know. Like if you're a cosmic person, you know, the piece of cardboard, well, not cardboard, it's kind of like I don't know, some kind of wood board that you slide in the back of the case. Before you slide them in, you can actually get some kind of like star field, and you could probably like roll out and glue a star field onto it and then slide it in so you could have like a star background. So there's a lot of things you could do. You just got to plan when you build it. Alright, sorry, just looking at an email. Yeah, it's kind of... Oh, they're pretty heavy. Well, you know what it is they're not, when you, alright, so the one block, just a smaller block, when you put it together, I can lift it myself with no problem. That whole entire corner unit, right, when everything was set in together, and even when I put the pieces on top of the thing, and I put all those wood planks on the insides, on the bottom, because there's like feet things you could put underneath of there, I'm able to slide that on my floor without scratching my floor with ease. That whole entire corner unit. And it is so durable that it is not like, you don't have to worry about like, oh my god, it's going to tip over. They're really well done. And as long as your floor is level, you're fine. If your floor is at a slant though, then of course you got an issue. Hangerbird, I mixed up this A's probably about 3:30. So we're going on that 2.5 hour mark, I guess. So now it's really tough. Like, I can't even use this now for the 7 of 9 because this is getting too tough now. But you can see it's like, it's still bendable, but it's not like, I can't really like detail it. So even this is like hard as a rock right now. But yeah, it's we're probably about 2.5 hour mark. So with 2.5 hours, you can sort of start doing this without crushing it. You can see it's sort of like letting me lift it a bit. Make sure I'm still in the camera. Hold on, I got too many windows open. So you can sort of see I'm like lifting it up. So the idea is it's tight here, but then it's getting loose around here a little bit. I mean, it's still, you can still kind of play with it, but I don't want to screw it up too bad. It's kind of hard to explain. Like when I put the eaves here, I did this really soft, but I put too much safety solvent on it. It became very soft and gushy. But now it's been about 2.5 hours, so if I go back into it, I could sort of kind of cut up the line a little bit more. But like I said, you got to get kind of used to it. But the more, if you use too much safety solvent, you run into an issue where it becomes like chewing gum tacky. So you just gotta kind of play like this little brush is not really doing much, but it's just kind of taking some of the smudge off of it. But what I'll do is once it hardens, I'll go in here with sandpaper and kind of sand out the angle a little bit. You know, it's sticking out a little too much. But you can still go in and push some stuff around. So if I wanted to sort of add like a wrinkle here with the, I can't really, nah, it's not really wrinkles for there. Yeah, so if I try to add more wrinkles in there, I won't be able to do it. It's too tough now. But if you wanted to do a hard cut, that it's still doable. So if I want to do like a harder cut like right here, that's still doable. And then there's a little bit of smudge there. And then you can use your brush to sort of clean that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, so 2.5 hour mark, we're starting to be like, you can toy with it, with lifting it. Probably about 5:30 to 6 o'clock, it's going to be really, really tough. So if you really, really wanted to lift it, you could, you know, but we're not going that far with it. Like, just to try to merge this stuff together is a little too tough. So I'll have to go in there with putty later. Yeah, you gotta get, you know, normally I don't really do shorts the way I did this, but for some odd reason it worked out. So I'm actually kind of happy with the way this worked out so far. Normally I would probably only do the back section, and then another day I would do the front section, but I kind of just was in the zone and it worked. Plus there's not that much of a shorts. But I guess I try and get a lot of it done before it starts to harden. If you get used to it, you'd be like, okay, I know I got to do this wrinkle, I got to do that wrinkle and get this set up. But then when it gets harder down the line, I can actually start cutting my lines, and I can start lifting, and I can start doing a little bit of you know, wrinkles. So it's kind of getting used to the material, I guess. And the problem is, at this stage of the game, if you make a wrong cut, it's kind of hard to fix the cut too. So that's something also to be careful of. What I need to do is I need to go to the art store and get some more brushes, because I don't really have any of these smaller ones anymore. So yeah, it takes a while. I mean, there's days I still don't know everything. Alright, so you see this brush here? I mean, not this brush, this tool, right? It's got that little round edge. So I want to add a wrinkle here. So kind of take that right there and sort of push it in, and then pull it back. And then kind of create that little wrinkle there. And then you go sort of in there and sort of smush it around. And then what we'll do is we'll create another one, see if we get a little bit closer for you. So if I want to do another one over here, see that little line there? That's kind of not really there. We'll take the tool and sort of smush it in. And sort of create that little wrinkle again. Now the problem, like I said, the problem here is I put a lot of safety solvent, so it's very, very soft here still. And you kind of create little wrinkles like that. Yeah, this is my dentist tool. These are the ones I got a lot of, so this is like my go-to. So put a little safety solvent on it and you sort of kind of create your little wrinkle. So we can try and see, do a little one here. Yeah, when it gets a little bit tougher, there's certain things you can do with it now, you know? So now that it's also tougher, if I want to clean up my edge, I could kind of go in here now, sort of lift up that edge a bit. Grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, I mean, you could let your eaves sort of toughen up, you know. So if you let your eaves, like I did this with the Hyperion, you know. So like say this is his butt, you know, and you have your eaves on there, right? And it's been sitting a while. Like sometimes you need to let your eaves sit a while. You just kind of put on your area. So say you wanted to, like say this was here, you know, whatever, and this has been sitting here for a while and you blended all this out, so we have a nice blend. So after like that hour or that 2 hours, you go in there and you start pulling it up, you know, and you can start like ripping it off, you know, and sort of kind of create your tear of the pants. I mean, though this is thick though. I did it pretty thick, but you could do it thinner, and you can sort of create your rip on your pants. You know, it's that simple to kind of create a rip. You know, and then if this is too thick later, you go in there with some putty. You know, after it cures up, and you go in with some sandpaper and you sand around the area. You know, and you blend it, and you create a tear. So if you really want to rip it up, you kind of, like when it's really tough, you could get in there and sort of really tear it up. You know, you kind of pull it back down a bit, and you kind of just create that tear. And then if you want a little tear over here, you do the same thing. I didn't put this on correctly, but you know, it gives you an idea on how you can start tearing it. And you can start to make tears like that. So you kind of, you roll out your Aves. You know, this is a little too thick, but you roll out your Aves. You blend it over his leg. You know, you put a whole piece of it around his leg, sort of, you know, and you kind of, you know, by the time you get around the leg and you get to your 2-hour mark, you know, your 3-hour mark, and then, you know, if this is kind of like all the way up there, you can start tearing your edge. You know, you kind of just start hitting it with your tool, and you start kind of pulling it up, you know, and you kind of just start cutting it, tearing up your edge. And you can sort of create like a ripped shorts like that. So that's kind of how I sort of do it with tears and stuff and adding cloth. Sort of the same way I did these shorts. I kind of added a layer and I started building it, and then once it got hardened, you can kind of start creating that little like lip on there and stuff. If that helps. Yeah, one thing you could do too, it's kind of a little tricky. You know what, if I can roll this stuff out, which I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try, which kind of might help you. Like if you want to do ripped shorts, we're gonna try. See, you can sort of salvage your Aves. Like, we're still sort of soft, but not super soft. I don't have a filler item, do I? No. So, what you can do is if you take your safety solvent, sometimes you can sort of get this back to sticking on like a filler item, like inside like a hollow leg or something. But it's really, really tough. But we're gonna try something. If I could just kind of put it together. See, it's like really, really friggin' hard now. I usually, once you hit about that 3-hour mark, that's kind of when Aves is like done. You can't really do much to it unless you want to start pulling it up like I was doing. Alright, let me see if I can roll this out a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll give you an idea. Yeah, so I went in, I switched it together, and then I used my baby powder, right? So, say we cut this, right? Alright, we cut that off. Let's use the other statue, because this is, I don't want to mess this up. Right? Now, Aves, think of Aves as a chemical reaction. Like, once it's chemically mixed, it's going to start to harden. It's not going to be soft again. If that was the case putting in safety solvent, I could put this in safety solvent and this would get soft again, which would be a nightmare. So once it's mixed together, it's a chemical reaction. Alright, so I use this baby powder. Go to CVS, you know, with cornstarch, mild and gentle formula. I get it with unscented because I just don't like the scent. I don't like to use the baby powder in here because dust already started coming out of the container. But say you want to make Hulk shorts, right? So you rolled out a fresh thing of Aves, okay? So this, pretend this is fresh, right? And you're going to wrap the shorts around here. So what I would do is use your baby powder, you know, on a piece of wax paper, put some baby powder down, get yourself a rolling pin, roll your baby powder, get baby powder on the side, so this way it's not sticking to your hand. I use this because it is a spackle that you use for the wall, but I like it because I can actually go like this, line up my piece and just go straight down with a straight line. Instead of sitting there trying to cut with an X-Acto blade, because when you try to cut with an X-Acto blade, you're pulling the A's and it's not getting a good line, but with that you get a good like straight line. So when you're ready to do the shorts, what you do is you got your baby powder, take your safety solvent and only do about half of it, right? Do about half. Just get this soft, because if you do fresh A's, it's going to be kind of soft anyway. So you have this part with the baby powder, and if you wrap it around here, right, and you start kind of working out your shorts and you're doing this, later on when this hardens and you try to work on it, a little bit of that baby powder will help you to try to pull this up without it sticking too much to the leg. So you'll be able to sort of like get in there and start kind of creating your rips, you know. Meanwhile, the part that you softened and you worked out there is all sticking to your item. So you could kind of start cutting it, right? And you can sort of rip it, and then you can go here and rip it again, and it's hard, you know. Don't be afraid to kind of get in there and rip that out with the thing. Use an X-Acto blade, get in there and kind of start tearing it up, you know. And then you can kind of start pulling it, and you don't have to worry about that part sticking down, and you can start lifting it up. So you could do something like that. Yeah, so whenever you put baby powder on your item, it's never going to stick to anything. It's just not going to stick. But when you mix your safety solvent, it gets that baby powder off, and then you're sticking again. So see, this is the baby powder area, and you put that on there, there's nothing. But with the safety solvent, you put this on here, and then you lift it up, you got a little bit of residue, and you see the residue? So that's going to bond. So baby powder acts as a blocker, and the baby powder acts as something to roll this out, you know? So all these pieces are kind of like, you know, they're dry, they're not going to stick to anything, but the safety solvent will pull off that baby powder, and it'll get you tacky again, and then you can kind of put your item on there, you know, and it'll stick. So that's what I do. Like if you want to do a belt, you know, on a character, or you want to do something on the leg, you sort of cut this off. You know, you could even do it when it's hard like this. This could still work, you know. So the baby powder here is, you know, not tacky, but over here you put your safety solvent on it, and then you can wrap a piece around the leg like that. Think of it as like baking a cake or a pie. You know, when you mix up your dough and you want to put your dough or your pie crust on the bottom of the plate, you use flour. Same thing. It's like, just think of it as like baking a pie. You're using baby powder. Now, say you mixed up fresh A's and you did this with the baby powder, but you messed up. You could go back in there and you can, you know, put some safety solvent on here and mush it back up. The baby powder won't really cause any issues unless you put piles and piles and piles of baby powder. But just a little bit's not going to do anything. But I always do this in the garage with the baby powder because I don't like the dust all over the house. And just go over to Walmart. That's not good. Just go over to Walmart and get yourself one of these non-stick pins. I had one for about 5 years now, and I just got a new one. They're like 15, 12 bucks or something. So And then whenever this gets a little bit crusty, I just take like an X-Acto blade and just kind of, and this is all I use this for. This is just for my cutting of eaves. And then what I'll do is, whenever my eaves is getting too tough and I don't have a filler item, I usually kind of roll it out and I leave it on the container outside in the garage. And then, like, if I ever do a base where I gotta break pieces or something, or if I ever need to do, I save these pieces in like a bin, and then I'll break these and use these. So I try not to waste that stuff either. But I think I'm pretty happy with the way these shorts came out. A little bit better than I expected. So we have some wrinkles back here. We have it flopping up here, but it's kind of tight in here. And then it's a little bit loose and wrinkled up here, but we got it tight in the crotch area. Sort of like a lot of the artwork I've been looking at. Now, when I'm working on this item from now on, I gotta be very careful not to break these pieces. So I gotta keep that in mind now. But I like it. Came out pretty good. So what I'll do is, once it cures up, I'll sand these areas down a little bit so it's a little bit curved in. Because right now it's sticking out a little too much. But I'll kind of I'll clean them up a bit. You know, clean up these wrinkles here. And then some of the stuff under there, I gotta put some putty and clean underneath of it. Yeah, see, we're getting to the point now where it's not even really like doing much anymore. Sort of can still smooth it out a bit, but not much. But it's definitely got a nice booty crack on her now. Yeah, I'll get back to you, Raz, on the chair for 7 and 9. I was so focused on those kits this week, I completely forgot. So, but yeah, I'm liking the way this is working. So I gotta start planning out getting her rod in her leg that I have this hole for, and I gotta get her on a base soon somehow, because it's gonna get to the point where I'm not gonna want to lay her down much anymore. I gotta come up with some more elements. So I think if the belt, not the belt, the chest, let me put this here. So if this Aves wasn't as tough it is now, if it was just a little bit, well, actually it could work right now, actually. Like, I could put a piece here for the boob stretching over, and then I could build off of it. So maybe I'll do that right now and let it cure. So what we'll do is, we don't need a tough piece. So basically, get this piece right here, tacky. and then put it right across like that. So this way it stays taut underneath when it cures. So it's a little bit tough now, which is actually not bad. So what we could do, I mean, I could, should I do the whole entire part? Alright, if I can get this A's back together, we'll try. If I can't, then I'm not going to. But we're gonna see. Sometimes if you put a little effort into it, it might work. Really don't need a hell of a lot. Well, I'm going to see. This is kind of the experiment to show you guys how far you can take it. If it will, it won't work. We're going to try. It's worth an experiment. If I could get this sort of back together, which is killing my fingers already, but we're going to see. Like I said, if you use enough safety solvent while it's still semi-soft, you sort of can bring it back together. But what might happen is it might get tacky, sort of getting softer, but you just got to put a lot of effort into it. See, like at this age, so it's sort of, you can see the color almost. It's kind of, it's weird, but it is getting a little bit working. So we're gonna experiment. Whew. This is the type of stuff you need some kind of machine to do. But it is getting softer, as you can see. I'm starting to smush it a little bit. The solvent is kind of helping me bring it back to a point. But I think we're good, right? So what we'll do is we'll roll it out about that long. So I'm going to go in the garage and roll this out. I'm going to cut it, and then I think maybe we can do is wrap it around and we can have that tight shirt going across. So we'll see. If not, I'll do it another day with some other Aves or something. But we're going to try. Okay, so the only downside is if it's too soft, since we don't have her standing upright, it sort of sinks in a little bit. So you got to sort of play with it, you know, till it really starts to cure and it's tight. If you did fresh eaves and you walked away after you laid this, when you come back, the eaves would sink down. Right? The idea is to make it look like it's pushing and not, you know, we'll throw eaves in here later, but enough to make it look like it's a shirt that's tightened on it. So instead of doing the whole, I think this piece is tough enough to stay up here, but this part over here and this part over here, we could probably use this now. So we'll cut it like right here. And then what we'll do is we'll just get this done like so. And then so what I like to do is not actually, you know, leave a little bit there so I can kind of put the eaves in later and sort of work it in. Like the shirt goes like that. And then kind of cut this off with my nail. And that's how you sort of get that tight shirt underneath. So like I said, you also have to keep in mind how your item's positioned. So if you have her to the side or this side, it'll sink in because this is like still soft now. No, I think that's good enough under boob. I mean, I think that's plenty. I don't think we're gonna go too crazy with the under boob, you know. So I think I actually need to sand this down before I do that part, now that I think about it. Yeah. Actually, I think I need to do this whole arm before I do this. Yeah, we're gonna have to take that off. But you get the idea what we're gonna do. I'm not focused on the same exact picture, Jacob. This is sort of my version of it. That's just kind of the character we're doing. So, but this just gives you guys an idea on how I'll start building the shirt. You know, so I got to clean up this arm. I got to clean up this area, and then I think what I might do is I might have to get this arm attached, and then we can start working on the shirt. I think if I try to do this now, it's not going to work. But this just gives you an idea of how we're going to start building the shirt up. So, yeah, we're not going to do that. I completely forgot about the shirt with that arm. But, and then what will happen is this sticks out. But what we'll do is I'll sand it down and I'll fill in this area, and then this will be like a whole tight shirt pulling in the boob area. So, but yeah, that's kind of how I would start building up the shirt. It's a hell of a workout, but it gives you an idea that you can sort of salvage your ace. So this ace is still, see how it's kind of like, it's not really, it's sagging but not much. But then all the safety solvent we put in this one, it's kind of flopping all over. But once that starts to dry up again, it'll be like hard as a rock. Oh, yeah, that was a workout on the hands though, but it gives you guys an idea of like how it works. So what I'll do is I'll get the shorts cleaned up, primed up, and then what I'll do is I'll see if I can get this arm attached. I have it in the garage. And then if I get this arm attached and cleaned up, we can start working on the shirt. And I think that'll give me a an idea on how to get her on a base. I'm gonna have to make up a generic base, and then we'll go from there too. So far, so good though. I think your shorts are looking good. All right, I would work on 7 of 9, but I think I just killed my wrist on that. So, but yeah, next time, or maybe even during the week, if I have some extra A's, I'll just finish off these 2 here. And then we got to start adding some wrinkles here. And then we're going to really try to focus on getting the head on, and then we'll work out this part. So once we get to this area here, I got to get a hold of Raz, and we'll start planning out the chair. No, I think we're good on the chair. Raz found some good chairs, so we're going to stick with that. I think that'll be our best bet. Because the chairs that Raz found, alright, Hanger, I'll save this for the streams. I won't do anything to it. There's 2 chairs that Raz sent, so we'll figure out which chair works best for this specific pose. We'll figure it out. Once, what's gonna happen is, I'll save it for next week. We'll get these 2 lines on her, right? And then what'll happen is, once I get the lines on her, I'll prime her up. And then what we'll do is, these lines are not completely perfect. It's hard to see now, but once I prime it up, there will be some gaps. And then what we'll do is we'll take our rubber tip tool, and then some of this putty, and then what we'll do is we'll get in there and we'll put like putty going across each line, and we'll kind of fill it in to make it look like it's a shirt, sort of you know, nice and smooth. It's kind of hard to tell, but I could see it with my magnifying glasses. They're not completely perfect. Like there's a little tiny hole like right there. It's kind of, you may be able to see it, you know. So, I mean, I can even fill that in now. Just take some of the putty. And just sort of fill that in. And I'll just go across, you know, and then once I prime her up, we'll see about any kind of seams and stuff. We'll clean up some areas. And then I'm not going to do this arm until we get the chair. This arm I could fix this one up, but we got to do the head first. Yeah, we're gonna put a rod in there. What I might do is I gotta plan it out for the stream. What I might do, it's kind of hard to, whenever you do a head like this, right? There's a couple ways of doing it. So you just can't put A's in there and put in the head because it might sag on you. I gotta kind of measure it out exactly where the head will be positioned. So sometimes, not with this rod, but what I might do is put some A's in here with the rod one day, and then put A's in here another day, and we'll have a bendable rod. So what I'll do is we'll bend the head on stream to where it goes, and then we'll start building the neck. You know? Because you can't really put a rod in there and then A's and then it sort of like flops on you and falls all over. You gotta kind of think of it as creating your spine, you know, your neck and your spine. So if I was to take A's one day and shove it in there and put this in, let it cure, and then do that, I can bend the head to where we want to position it. And then from there we can start throwing A's in. So yeah, so what will happen is once we get all this done and we're ready to work on this, I'll come in the stream one day and we'll have a rod in there with the head already attached, and then we could sort of bend the rod where we want it to go. No, no, you put a really thick rod in there. One of these brass rods, you know. I'm not gonna put a small rod in there, so basically I'll Dremel a hole a little bit further so the rod will go up the head like that far, right? And then we'll have the neck, and then this much of the rod will go into the body. So once I put the eaves in there, we can bend it and move position it. Now you can't sit there and bend this and bend it and bend it and bend it, then it'll break. But, you know, just kind of, you know, just bending the rod like this or bending the rod like that and stuff is not going to do anything. See? It'll be fine. Yeah, because once we start working on her, right, you know, do we want the head being straight on? Do we want the head to be tilted? Do we want the head to look down? We want to, so we'll kind of like, you know, we'll do it together on stream so we can figure out where we want to position it. Oh no, not a brass rod. Just a simple, you know, not, yeah, just a simple rod like that's pretty thick will work. That's all you need to do. Because don't forget, once we fill this in, you know, once we fill in with eaves, there's going to be a lot of eaves to fill in that neck. So you don't need a super thick rod like this. You know, this is to keep the body from moving. This is just to kind of position the head. And then once we get that eaves in there, it'll lock into position. Alright, hold on. Let me watch. Where is my... Where the hell it go? Somewhere. You have a good one too, Hangerburst. Thanks for stopping by. I think that's where I'm gonna kind of close out the stream too. I think we got a lot done on today. This was a lot more productive than I thought it was gonna be. I'm pretty happy with the way these shorts came out. Yep, just gotta do a little sanding, prime it up, clean it, and I'll get this arm attached. I'll get this cleaned up, and then we can start working on our top shirt. Yeah, no problem with the ModuCase stuff. Anytime I can help out, you know, my experiences or whatever, worked out pretty well. Alright, I'm tapped. I'm tired. It's hot. So you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see how much I can get done for next week.